Subdividing and sight reading, simple meter rhythms. This video is about how to subdivide the beat, which is something you're probably already doing, but I'm going to show you how to do it even better. All right. So what is subdivision? Subdivision is playing the long note while thinking the small note. You probably already do this because when we are playing in 4/4 or 2/4 or similar time, you're usually thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're associating that with the quarter note or crotchet for our UK descended people. And that's usually the main tempo. All right. So when you see a whole note or a half note, you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're subdividing the quarter note already, okay? Or crotchet for our UK people. Anyway, but you can also play the quarter notes and think in eighth notes or 16th notes. So when I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm thinking 1E and a 2E and a, or I go taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki. Even though my hand is playing quarter notes, I'm thinking taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, or tate, 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 tate. Okay, I usually try to think, and I look at my music, what is the smallest note value I have to deal with? Okay, if it's eighth notes, I think in eighth notes. If it's 16th notes, I think in 16th notes. Okay, I'm not going to get into 30-second notes because if you are already dealing with 30-second notes and more complicated than that, you probably don't need this video. All right. All right. But the good thing about subdividing is that it tells you exactly where the notes are, so you don't have to guess. Okay? Because I know I've done it, we've all done it, where we see a rhythm and we're just like, that note goes somewhere there. And I'll play it now. No, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to go, so we see taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki. You got to have that constant metronome going in your head. All right? So when you see a complicated or unfamiliar rhythm, I'm going to show you how to take it apart so you know exactly where the ta, ka, te, and ke are, so you know exactly when to play them. All right, so let's look at subdivision of the beat. Okay, we have a whole note here, and you can subdivide it. So this is 1, 2, this is 1, count to 4. You still count this to 4. This is usually what we do. Okay, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. I can also think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I can also go 1E and a 2E and a, or excuse me, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki, taka tiki. All right. Sometimes I'm just going to stick with tas for right now instead of numbers. The number system is good if you want to know exactly what beat number you're on. The ta system or the French time system just tells you that the when to play. Okay, so we're not really worried about what number beat we're playing on, but we're going to worry about when to play. So if I were to write all these all sound the same. So I'd go ta 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 ta. All right. I know it's not very interesting, but I'm just doing this to illustrate that these would all sound the same because they all take up the same amount of space. They're all tied together, and so when I'm playing this one, I'm probably thinking this one. But if I have lots of eighth notes, I might be thinking eighth notes while I'm playing this. That's subdivision. All right. Let's go to another one. So Here's another one, just a dotted half and a quarter. And these are the same rhythms. This is showing you the subdivision. So I go ta 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 ta. Okay? So when I'm playing this, I'm probably either thinking this one or this one. But if I have lots of 16th notes, I'm going to be thinking of this one. So in my head, I'm going taka-tiki, 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 taka-tiki. Okay? So I'm thinking in this one, but playing this. All right? Let's go look at some more rhythms here. And I also suggest if you want to just pause the video and play it and sing it, go ahead, do that. That's why I make these. All right, now we're getting some dotted rhythms. Okay, you can get into the whole thing about the dot is half of the note value tied together, which I'm illustrating in right here. See this rhythm, and this rhythm, and this rhythm, and this rhythm. They're all the same. But I'm showing you the subdivisions of the beat so you can get the idea of where to put this. So when I need to put this te, so I'm going to go ta, te. Let's see. Here we go. Ta, te, ta, te. Okay. Now, how did I know where that te is? Because I'm thinking this. Or actually, I'm thinking this. I'm thinking ta, te, 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 ta, te. I'm thinking that in my head. Okay. If I'm going to have 16th notes, I might even be thinking taka-tiki, 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 taka-tiki. Okay, that's allowing me to place this 8th note exactly where I want it to go. So this one, so I'm just going to sing these. Okay, just show you they're the same. Ta, te, 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 ta, te. Okay, they are all the same. So when I'm playing this, again, I'm playing big, I'm thinking small. Or I'm thinking small, or I'm thinking really small. Okay? It's what's going on in your head, so you know exactly where to put that 8th note. You're not guessing. Edit part. Ooh, now we're getting into some scary looking things. Okay? Again, these are all the same rhythms. Okay, so excuse me, there's my light. So I have taka-tiki, taka. Let's look at the bottom here. Taka-tiki, 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 taka-tiki. Well, I'm going to tie together the ta, the ka, the te, and say the ke. Okay, so I go ta, ke ta, ke ta, ke ta. Ta, ke ta, ke ta, ke ta. Because in my head, I'm still thinking taka-tiki, 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 taka-tiki. Or I can be thinking ta, take 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 ta, take. Okay. Generally, I try to go to the smallest one. But when I'm playing this ta, ke ta, ke ta, ke ta, take ta, ke ta, ke ta, ke ta. Okay. This dotted 8th, 16th rhythm. I'm thinking taka-tiki, 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 taka-tiki. That's what's going on in my head. All right. That's subdivision. And again, I encourage you to practice, hit pause, practice this, get this in your head. Edit part. Okay, this was a rhythm we see a lot. Ta te te ta te te. Yeah, this is called syncopation when the accents are off the beat, but we're not going to go into there. I want you to learn how to read it. So ta te te ta te. Te ta te 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 te ta te. Okay, this is the same thing written with tied 8th notes. Ta te te 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 ta te. Here's the thing, same rhythm written in 16th notes. Ta te te ta te. Te ta te, 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 te ta te. There you go. Okay. So again, this rhythm, this rhythm are all played the same way. I'm just showing you these because when I'm playing this, I'm usually thinking this and sometimes this, okay, depending on the context. I would generally say go as small as you are comfortable. Okay, usually eighth notes is a good one to subdivide with most of the time, just because it's kind of the middle of the road one. But if you know you're going to be playing 16th notes or you see them coming up, start thinking taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki. Okay, I got another version here, and this one is just a random rhythm I wrote. Taka ke ta te ta, tiki 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 taka ke ta te ta, tiki. Okay, taka ke ta te ta, tiki taka ke ta te ta, tiki. So I'm thinking in this. Taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki. Okay, but I'm playing taka ke ta te ta, tiki taka ke ta te ta, tiki taka ke ta te ta, tiki taka ke ta te ta, tiki. All right. Now you're probably saying, what about the rests? All right. So what if I add a rest in there? You can subdivide the rests as well. So if I'm just playing this dotted half note here, okay, I'm probably thinking 1, 2, 3, but I may be thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and, okay, just to know where to begin, where to end it. All right, and so what I put in there is a placeholder, which is a shh. Okay, that's a vocalization of a silence. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but if we're learning our rhythm, we're going to put in the sh as a placeholder for our rhythm. And I see I missed a sh here. Let me go fix that. We need to sh. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to go ta sh ta sh. Ta, sh, sh, ta, sh, sh. Okay, because the rests get the same amount of take up the same amount of space and time as the notes. I'm just vocalizing where they are. Okay, this is a fairly simple example. Let's move on. And again, take your time to pause it and try it on your own. All right. So I took the same rhythms that we did earlier and I just threw in some rest just to see what happened. So this, forget the dot. There we go. That's better. That looks a lot better. Okay. Even though the dotted quarter rest is correct, this shows where the beat is. Okay. So I go ta, te, ta, te, ta, te. Take ta, take. Now let's put our sh in there. There we go. So I'm thinking ta, take, sh, take ta, take, sh, take ta, take, sh, take ta, take, sh. Okay. Over here, I've got it written out. With the actual subdivision. So this is another way to write it. It's very similar, but instead of using the dot, I'm using the tie to show exactly where the beat is. So it's still the same as go ta, take, sh, take ta, take, sh, take ta, take, sh, take ta. Okay. Now this one here, this third one, is probably what I'd be thinking. I'm going to be thinking ta te ta te ta ta te ta te sh. Let's see, ta te ta te sh sh te ta te ta te sh sh te ta te ta te sh sh te ta te ta sh te ta te ta te sh te ta te te sh. Okay, and if I want to get really pedantic, I could put these in 16th notes. Okay, and that's not a bad idea, especially if you have 16th notes coming up, because you might have You could have these separated. You go ta te, take a ta te, take ta te, take ta te. Okay, but these, remember, this is the same as this, is the same as this, is the same as this. If I'm playing them, all right, that's subdividing. So I'm playing this, and I'm most likely thinking this or this while I'm in my head. Okay, this is kind of pedantic, but this just shows you that you could technically write it that way. Edit part. Let's go to number 4. Okay, here's the ta kish, ke ta kish, ke ta kst, ke ta kst. Okay, ta kish, ke 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 ta kish. All right. Now, when I want to place this K, that's at the very back end of the last 16th notes, what I am thinking is this. Taka te K, K 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 taka K, K taka te K, K taka K. That's what I'm thinking in my head. This down here. Okay? Here's another way you could write it. Right here. Ta K. Say ta K. K ta K. K ta K. Excuse me. Ta K. K ta K. K ta K. Okay? So this one's actually confusing me. But you could have it written this way, but the same way. They're all the same. The point is that what I'm trying to show you is that this rhythm, this rhythm, this rhythm are all the same. And when I'm playing this one, I'm most likely thinking this one. Here's just another way to write it. Okay? Ta kish, ke ta kish, ke ta kish, ke ta kish. And when I get to actually playing it, I'm leaving the sh out because the sh doesn't, it's silence that has time. That's what rest is. So I go ta ke, ke ta ke, ke ta ke. So I'm playing that, and I'm thinking this. All right. Document. Next one. 5. All right. So you might dun 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 dun. All right. You might see this rhythm, and it would go ta te 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 ta. All right. I'm going to put in the sh in there for you. Ta sh ta sh te 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 ta sh. Okay, so you take the sh out, and I end up with ta te 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 ta. And if I'm going to be pedantic, I could write it out like this. This one and this one are the same. All right, let's go back and add. So I have this lovely rhythm. So I go ta sh sh king. See, I'm going to put in my 8th note. This is my 8th note. Ta king ta ta ke ta ke ta ta ke ta ke ta ta. Okay, that's really slow. If I'm going to make that double time. Ta ke ta ta ke 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 ta ke ta ta. All right. So this is the rhythm that was written. Okay. Here's another way to think of it. So this 8th note here becomes these 2/16. These dotted quarter becomes 6/16. And we have a, oops, I need to put a little K on the end there. There. All right. So that is subdivision of the beat. So remember, you're playing big, you're thinking small. So when you're playing your notes, you're always thinking taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki taka tiki. All right. So how do we put this into good use? So let's put this into a folk song setting. Okay, Old Dan Tucker. Old Dan Tucker is a very fine man. Washed his face in a frying pan, combed his hair with a wagon wheel, died with a toothache in his heel. Get out the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Get out the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. All right, that's the American folk song that this is based off of. All right, so let's just say I'm seeing this and I want to break down the rhythm. This is what I suggest doing. You take your melody, and then you just write out the rhythm. So then you're taking the pitch out of the equation. So I'm going to go to edit part. So I put this into claps. There we go. And there they all are. So using French chime names, I've taken this. So this, let me just show you that this and these are the same thing. This is with pitch. This is without pitch. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking the pitch out of the equation and we're going to sing it. Okay. Because if you can't sing the rhythm, you can't play it. So we're going to do tates, and then I'll show you do some 1 and 2 lines just so you get the feeling of that. Like I said, no judgment on what system you decide to use. Just I would say be consistent. And so you don't confuse yourself. All right, so here is All Dan Tucker, and I'm going to read just the rhythms. Okay, ta te taka te taka te ta ke ta te ke ta te ta te ke ta te ke ta te ta taka ke ta te taka te ta ke ta te taka ke ta te taka te ta ke ta taka. There we go. Right, now if I want to do it in rhythm with the numbers, I can go 1 and 2e and 1e and 2, a 1 and 2 and a 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and a 1 and 2 and 1 and a 2 and 1 and 2, 1e and a 2, 1e a 2, 1 and 2e, 1 and 2, a 1 and 2e, 1e a 2, 1 and 2e, 1 and 2, a 1 and 2e. All right, 2e. This should be 2e. Anyway, so those are the other systems. Let's take another piece and look at that. Just to get this. So the whole point of this exercise is to take, when you have a piece of music, and you, especially if you see a rhythm that you don't know, okay, I'm not saying you need to do it with your whole piece, although that's an excellent idea just to make sure you can read, but to take a section that you can't read, write it out, and take away the pitch, or just, eventually you can train yourself to do this without having to separate the pitch. But separate the pitch and be able to sing it. So if you can't sing the rhythm, you can't play it. Otherwise, if you are playing it, you're getting it right, you're doing it right because you're guessing right. And we don't want to be guessing right. Fare thee well, old Joe Clark, fare thee well, I say. Fare thee well, old Joe Clark, ain't got long to stay. I forgot the rest of the words, something on the floor. Had his feet upon his head, his feet upon the floor. It's a silly children's song. All right. Okay. So here's the rhythm from the melody. So here's the melody. I'm just taking the rhythm apart. We are focusing on rhythm today. We will do sight singing later. Because sight singing is a very handy tool with your saxophone as well. Okay. So I have Old Joe Clark. Here's my beat. I'm going to sing just the rhythm. Because if I can sing the rhythm, I can play it. Ta, ke ta, ta, te, ta. Ta, ke ta, te, ta. Ta, ke ta, ta, te, ta. Ta, te, ta, te, ta. Ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta. Ta, te, ta, te, ta. Ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta. Very simple. And the thing is one thing that you'll realize when you do this, you will start seeing, even when you add the pitch, you'll be only worrying about the pitch because you'll see the rhythm similarities over and over and over and over again because there's only so many combinations you can use. All right, so let's do it with numbers. 1, a 2, 1 and 2, 1, a 2 and 1. 1, a 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 1. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 1. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. The one got cut off there. All right, so just to review, and I suggest you go back, do this, practice it yourself. Okay, hit pause. Okay, this is rhythmically the same as this. They are the same part. I am looking at the rhythmic values. I'm not looking at the note at the pitch. I'm looking at the rhythm, and here they are together. Okay, ta ke ta, ta ke ta, ta te ta, ta ke ta te ta, ta ke ta, ta te ta, ta te ta te ta. Ta te ta te ta te ta, ta te ta te ta, ta te ta te ta te ta te ta te ta te ta. All right. So that is, we've covered subdivision and sight reading, being able to separate your melody, your pitches from your rhythm. It's a good exercise. You don't need to do it with a whole piece of music, but when you come across a piece of music that's got something kind of complicated in it and you can't read it, break it down. And also, if you want to contact me and you're get stuck, or send me a screenshot and I will show you how to break it down. That's what I'm here for. Anyway, I hope this helps people with sight reading and subdividing the beat because we are on a mission to become better musicians. Have a nice day.